So it's European finals week this week, and so not much attention going on to the Vodacom URC, but we're going to talk a bit anyway about the URC and where exactly the Bulls are sitting at the moment. After their big win and obviously overcoming all the emotion of Cornel Hendricks passing last week, they now have a week off, a week where they can recuperate, and some of those players who are injured can also recover as well. There's some question marks still above a couple of players. Gerard Steenekamp for one, he's on his way back. He had a knee infection or knee clean out and got infection after that, so that's taken a while to get him back. Whether he'll be back, I know the Bulls will probably try and do everything to get all their top players back for their quarterfinal against Edinburgh in 2 weeks' time. But they may have to go into it without some of them. And Gerard Steenekamp's one. Emrose Papier is expected to be ready as well. So he looks like he'll be okay. At fly half, it looks like there's some good news about Johan Goosen on Friday, and you can listen to Jake. It doesn't sound like it's as bad as initially thought, and he should play a part somewhere in the playoffs. Maybe not in the quarterfinal, but Keegan Johannes has been doing pretty well there, and maybe in the semi-final if they get that far. But he'll certainly play a part somewhere. So let's quickly listen to what Jake said about Johan Goosen's injury and the good news they received.
Actually, very good news. He had a procedure. We had it with Don Duplessis and Wim. I mean, they're very great knee surgeons, as you know, and it went well. And there's no time frame, but they're confident that if everything goes well, we can have him back before the end of the season, which is great news, considering that when that happened, everyone thought that might be career ending. So, I don't want to say to you he'll be available next week or the following week, but it isn't as bad as we initially thought when he was obviously carried off.
Jake was then also asked about whether Johan Goosen's also, but unfortunately, I keep on getting all these injuries. This is the third time this season he's injured his knee, and he's got a history of knee operations. So obviously, there's a bit of a concern every single time he gets injured that it might be his last game. And it's quite an interesting answer. Have a listen.
Yeah, no, he is. I mean, especially his knees. And I told him he's got, it's unfortunate. But I mean, again, you saw my reaction on Saturday. Why he runs back and tries to win a turnover on the halfway line I can never picture Nas Botha in his day running around and trying to get a turnover. I can't. So I said to him, I don't know what you're trying to do. You're not going to get a high five because you win a turnover on the halfway line, And now he understands. Maybe now the message is clear, So, but he is unfortunate. I mean, he is you get one of those players that, it just happens. He's had knee problems, but one of the most successful stories that I've been part of is Butch James. Butch James, I think, had 9 knee operations and he won a World Cup. So, it's sometimes something you just got to handle, and I'm talking from a coach and a player. But he hasn't helped himself, and I think now that he realizes, when I show him that clip over and over, in fact, when I pick him again, I'll show him that clip before we run out so that he understands that he's not a flanker. Ulrich actually told him there's a reason flankers don't put their heads into breakdowns.
There was also a bit of a scare for Kobus Visser, the lock, who's been invited to the Springbok camp along with his brother Jasper. Kobus has obviously been probably the signing of the season for the Bulls this year. Certainly added a lot of physicality and weight to the pack and has really played pretty well as well. So when he went down and came off the field limping a bit, it was a bit of a worry. But certainly Jake was in a good mood in terms of that, where he said, you shouldn't worry too much. It was just a bit of precaution. And you can understand the last game of the league season, week break, you'd really want him to get ready again, get fit again. And obviously that's part of what the plan was, bringing him off early as well. So interesting to see, but Kobus Visser should also be ready to go in the quarterfinal.
I just got a back spasm. He apparently got it in the warm-up as well. And then I said to him, if he gets a back spasm and scores a 40-meter try, he can do that every week. So, again, precautionary. I mean, when he said his back's a bit sore, what I don't want now, the referral in terms of tearing a hamstring So, I took him off, and Doc reckons he'll be fine if he just does the right treatment for the next 2 weeks. And someone asked me, I think Sim asked me during the week, is not playing next week a blessing? Well, on a guy like that, obviously that's fantastic that we get another week to get our squad ready.
Now, it's quite a thing for a coach going into a playoff game. You obviously want all your best players there, but certainly no coach ever gets their best team to play. And so I asked Jake after Saturday's game, that whether he feels happy at the end of this league stage that his team has ended second and feels confident given some of the injuries that they have at the moment and some of the juggling and the things they've had to do, like play Keegan Johannes at Flav. If he's quite confident going into these quarterfinals. Interesting answer as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, Brendan, you can only control what you can control, And as I said to you during the week, no Gerard Steenkamp, no Ulrich Lowe, no Emrose Papier, no Kurtley Orense, no Johan Goosen, no, other players that are on the fringes that maybe could strengthen our bench as well. So you never, I mean, I can tell you that even when I was coaching the box, I don't think you ever get to pick your best 23, ever. Because when you have a certain player back, another one gets injured, or if I've never been lucky enough to have the best 23 guys available for a Saturday, But are we happy where we are? Of course we are. We've got a week off now. We didn't get any injuries today. I'm talking about injuries that will rule people out. We get a massive chance to play in front of our home crowd. I'm hoping that we'll get people now to the playoffs. And then you're right. I mean, the why, which is what I said to you earlier, is maybe the added emotion of what we can play for now in the next 3 weeks is going to give us that extra boost. We've been missing something. 2 finals, so close. Who knows? Maybe this is the thing we needed to give us a reality check.
So that's obviously Jake looking ahead towards the quarterfinals. Some of the injuries that they have, a number of players are out at the moment. But this next 2 weeks can be very interesting for them because I'm sure they'll get a lot of them back and everybody's going to want to play in the quarterfinal. Of course, there are the players who've put up their hand in this time away. Some interesting ones that they're going to have to look at. Will they keep Ron Nokia at 7? Will they move him back to lock? If they do, what happens to J.F. van Heerden? What happens at halfback? Is Emrose Papier back or Zach Burger? Bernard van der Linde, who played his last game, well, according to everybody, for the Bulls, and is heading to Bath, certainly had a blinder. He was instrumental in 3 tries, and really, when he came on, the cameo he had was pretty good. So just where and who and how's the whole team makeup going to be? That's going to be interesting to watch. But that we'll get to next week. This week it's Investec Champions Cup and EPCR Challenge Cup time. So we'll keep an eye on that, and then we'll chat to you again. If you haven't already, first of all, tell me what you think of the injuries and what you think the Bulls' chances are in these quarterfinals. And as always, if you haven't already, please smash that subscribe button, and love to hear from you. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers.